Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to another Gamers Warehouse video. And this is where we review gaming equipment and gaming peripherals. And today guys, we are reviewing my brand new Razer Viper mouse. Starting off, let's look at what inspired Razer to actually make this mouse. Razer reached out to esports teams around the world to ask them what they want in a mouse. They noted everything down that these teams wanted and put it into this amazing $80 mouse. That being said, this is 100% made for professional gaming and therefore is a very good mouse. Shout out to Razer for making a mouse for the community. First things first, we can look at the weight from this mouse. It is a very lightweight mouse, coming in at 69 grams without the cable and 70 grams with the cable. That just shows you how light and flexible this cable really is. Pair this with a bungee and it feels almost wireless. What I love about the mouse is that it is able to be this light without the need for any honeycomb cutout design. Although I do not really feel the honeycomb cutout design, for example in the Model O, I personally do not like the look of having holes in my mouse. This is an ambidextrous mouse, meaning that it is perfectly symmetrical on both sides, with mouse buttons 4 and 5 on both sides of the mouse. I initially thought that I was going to press the buttons on the opposite side by accident, but luckily that never happened. However, I do feel like you might actuate them by accident, and therefore you can disable them in Razer Synapse. Speaking about Razer Synapse, let's take a look at it now. I personally think that Razer Synapse is one of the best softwares that I've ever worked with when it comes to gaming peripherals. It is very clean and very easy to work with. In the top left of your screen, you'll see the Customize tab, and you can actually see that I did disable my mouse buttons on the right, just in case I do actuate them. You can also change all of your buttons to make a different function. For example, I made my mouse button 4 into a sensitivity clutch. This is for my COD profile, and it's acting as a sniper button, which I think is essential when you're playing COD. Then going over to the Performance tab, which is just right of the Customize tab, this is where you can change your polling rate and your DPI. Your polling rate is the speed that your mouse refreshes and sends signals from the sensor to your computer. You can change your DPI and it will show you at the bottom of your mouse with an LED indicator which preset you are in. You can have a maximum of 5 presets ranging from 100 DPI to 16,000 DPI. And you can change all of this in steps of 50. Having the steps of 50 is not the most precise, but I personally do not think that you need smaller steps, as that is just unnecessary, since most people do use something like 800 or 1000 DPI anyway, and they're not going to have 802 DPI, that's a bit silly. So steps of 50 is perfectly fine. Going to the lighting tab, you can either change your lighting through the Quick Effects tab or through Chroma Studio. I personally suggest using Chroma Studio as it is a way better way to visualize the changes you are making. The RGB lighting on this mouse is very good and it is quite bright, but you obviously do block it when you are using the mouse as your palm covers it. My favorite part about the mouse is when you switch off your PC or unplug the mouse, it looks like a solid matte black finish without any logo showing. The last tab in this Razer Synapse is the calibration tab, and this sort of speaks for itself. This is mainly for people who do not have a mousepad and want to calibrate their mouse with their bumpy desks. This is very good, and the 5G sensor on this mouse does an amazing job. It is very accurate and probably one of the fastest sensors out there. Just a quick stop now that we're about halfway through this review. We greatly appreciate everybody who watches this channel and love all the support. So, if you are enjoying this video so far, please do leave a like below, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. The Razer Viper is a medium-sized mouse and fits all hands. The exact lengths are 126.7mm long, 66.2mm wide at the back of the mouse, and around 57mm wide at the slimmest point in the middle. The mouse buttons are optomechanical switches, just like the Razer Huntsman. And if you haven't seen that video, I do recommend it. It is in the top right of your screen right now. But this is how the switches work. A laser inside of the switch hits the other side as soon as you press it in. This sends a signal to your computer as soon as you do it. Optical mechanical switches are the most reliable and the quickest switches out there, as there is no physical click, but just a laser that hits the other side. The scroll wheel has a very nice rubberized texture, and it has very comfortable clicks. The side of the mouse is also made out of rubberized texture, which helps you grip the mouse a lot better. The side buttons are situated at a very comfortable position, and are easy to reach. The only one downside that I can see in this mouse is that it does not have PTFE mouse feet, but instead just normal Teflon feet. This is not terrible, and yes, you can customize your own mouse to have PTFE feet, but it does make the mouse glide a bit less, and therefore I do not see why Razer didn't implement them, as obviously esports gamers do want that extra bit of glide. Anyway, wrapping up this video, the Razer Viper is my favorite mouse out there, and it only costs $80, which is a medium price point. There are also the Razer Viper Mini and the Viper Ultimate, which are both good pickups. The Ultimate is at a higher price point and does have PTFE feet, and obviously it is wireless. The Mini is at a lower price point and is basically just the same, but just a bit smaller. Coming up to the end of the video, if you have made it this far in the video, please consider liking, and if you want to see more videos like this, even consider subscribing. I don't know, you choose. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And